This morning I was perusing the net and came across an article by our guy J.P. Finley. And there's some interesting quotes from Doug Williams with the Redskins. Doug Williams, I believe, is an executive vice president. I'm not exactly sure his title, but he's in the front office with the Redskins, and he was asked to speak at an NFL quarterback coaching summit, which I guess is an event designed to help African-American coaches advance on the offensive side of the ball. So he was asked there about Dwayne Haskins. And he says Haskins is a guy that comes from a situation where nobody went up under center to see a guy walk out of the huddle, the poise that he has, the patience that he's exhibited. So it seems like he's liking what he's seen from Haskins. But these are the quotes that jumped out at me. Doug Williams says, I know there's words out there that Haskins might end up starting, and that could happen. But at the end of the day, that's going to be on Jay, myself, and probably Bruce and the owner and what he does during preseason to see where we are as a team to make that decision.
By the way, his title, unless Wiki is incorrect, is Senior VP of Player Personnel.
So senior VP.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Williams says it's going to be a group decision, that it's not just on the coach. And the group includes Bruce Allen, himself, and the owner, Dan Snyder.
I think I know who wins that argument.
Is anybody surprised by this news? I mean,
no.
I don't think it's surprising.
He went on to say, and you can, like, to me, this is leaning towards the Cakes camp of he's going to start in week 1. He says, I don't want to say he's going to start game 1 today, but it's been a pleasure and enjoyable scene to see what Dwayne Haskins has done over the last few weeks.
He's kind of pumping him up.
I would say that
slightly.
He certainly has a great chance to start week 1. I mean, unless he completely poops himself in the preseason, then he's got a good shot. He really does.
I don't know. Did you hear? So you missed the Joe Theismann comments while you were away.
I didn't see anything.
So Joe Theismann called in to, like, I don't know, it was Nick Ashew hosted a show with Tom Libero.
Yeah, because Andy Pollin.
Why doesn't he ever call into our show?
I don't know. He called in just unannounced, and he threw out there that, hey, he wanted to kind of just quell the excitement a little bit about Haskins. And he basically said if Dwayne starts his basically at all his rookie year, it'll be a disaster.
Yeah. I think he knows, especially when you only played 1 year of college football, it's going to be a really difficult transition. So maybe he'll surprise everyone. Yeah, and maybe Case Keenum won't be good in the preseason. I find that hard to believe, but he's got a good shot, I guess.
Here's maybe where I differ with you guys, and you can chime in at 800-636-1067. You can say these quotes don't surprise you. They still do kind of surprise me that the owner would be involved in the decision of whether to start Dwayne Haskins.
He's always been involved.
That Bruce Allen would be involved.
Yeah, it's a
in
problem.
the decision.
Well, I mean, that's why everyone hates him.
It should be on the coach.
You're right, but
and
we all
I would think that at some point after 20 years of flailing around with a mediocre franchise, one of the worst franchises, winning records in the NFL over the 20 years, that maybe you would defer to the coach.
That's what you have.
Yeah, but when you're a bad boss like he's been for 20 years, it doesn't surprise me. It was his decision to Jay, you need to start him.
It surprised me,
unless Jay just says,
it does a
Jay
little
could
bit.
just say, I'm not starting him.
Right.
What are you going to do, fire me? Fire me.
Yeah. I think
that's what I would do.
Bruce and Dan have always been involved. I think part of the reason that Jay still has his job is because he works with Bruce and Dan. He works with them.
Yep.
And they've voiced their opinion. Now, I think he can stand on the table. This is where we may differ. I think he could stand on the table and say, yeah, I'm starting who I want. You fire me if you want. So I think he can do that.
I agree.
But I definitely think those guys are in his ear, and they have an influence. And frankly, it's probably not that unusual. It's probably not that unusual that a general manager is kind of in a coach's ear about who he thinks maybe should start.
I mean, Van Wagenen, the GM of the Mets, is calling into the dugout and telling Mickey Callaway to take the pitcher out.
And look how well the Mets are doing.
They're a mess.
I mean, who's the
a hot
GM
mess.
then in Cleveland when we watched Hard Knocks last year?
Dorsey.
Yeah, you think Dorsey's not in the what's the guy's name?
Yeah.
The new coach?
Kitchens.
Do you think he's not in Freddie Kitchens' year? But
Absolutely.
I think it's probably
but
pretty
it's different
standard.
than the owner doing it, though.
The owner's a little different.
But I'm not surprised.
I thought there was a little separation here. It just sounds like the old days.
But let me say this.
It's never changed.
I think that Dan and Bruce will realize. I don't think Haskins is going to look great in the preseason.
Maybe not.
So I think that they're going to realize he's not ready based on what they see, and then Case Keenum will look better, and they'll say, all right, let's give Case a start for a few weeks unless he just throws up on himself.
If Keenum struggles, there will be no hesitation to go to Haskins, even if he's not 100%.
All Doug Williams does is time he talks.
You know what he is? He's a walking controversial quote is what he is. And for some reason, the Redskins just keep trotting him out there.
But I kind of like that he's honest.
He is honest.
I kind of like that.
I don't know that he's capable of going up and lying when he's on a mic.
I don't enjoy someone who just throws out the company line.
Yeah.
He's telling you how it kind of is.
Right.
Right?
800-636-1067. Do you find it troubling that Bruce Allen, Doug Williams, and Dan Snyder are going to be part of the quarterback decision?
I would rather it be
I would think the coach,
the decision of the coach and maybe a strong GM who is set off aside from the owner. That keeps the owner at bay somehow. Even though the owner's stroking checks, you trust your general manager to work in concert with your head coach and figure out the right guy to start.
But again, they're bad bosses. Snyder is a bad organization. Boss.
It has been
and
for
he's
20
established
years.
that for 20 years.
Yeah.